Good morning. My name is Tammy Berthium. I'm a massage therapist here at renew.com in West Springfield, Massachusetts. As well, I've been practicing yoga for over 15 years, and we're going to start a series of pose demonstrations for beginners. And what I'd like to do is focus on several postures that would be very practical for use in the summertime. Many of us are doing a lot of activities during this time of year, such as gardening, swimming, tennis, and hiking. And what I'd like to show you are some poses that will help to strengthen the arms, the legs, and the low back muscles to help you with your performance of your activities and also increase the ease at which you do these activities. Table, cat, and cow. These poses help to decrease tension in the low back and strengthen it as well. Any contraindications would include neck injuries, and if this pertains to you, you would want to just keep your neck in a neutral position during these poses. Now let's get to it. The first posture that we're going to do is cat and cow, but we're going to begin the pose coming down to the floor onto hands and knees into what's called table posture. The hands will be directly below the shoulders and knees will be directly under the hip joints. Hands are flat with fingers spread. Neck is relaxed. Feet are flat. As we come into cat, we're going to curl the toes under, arch the back like an angry cat, and gently push back with the hands, tucking the chin into the chest, and breathe. While in the pose here, you can just gently take several breaths in and out. And as we go to come into cow, we'll uncurl the toes, drop the belly to the floor, and lift the gaze. And again, just breathe, relaxing the belly fully. Upward facing dog. This posture is great for strengthening the arms, as well as decreasing tension in the low back. Any contraindications would include shoulder injuries and carpal tunnel, so you may have to adjust or skip this pose if necessary. So let's get right to it. To come into upward facing dog, we'll begin again on the floor on hands and knees in table posture, checking to make sure that hands are directly underneath the shoulder joints and knees are under the hips. Walk the hands forward slightly, and as you do so, drop the hips to the floor and lift the gaze. Check that the hands are under the shoulder joints so as not to stress the elbows or the wrists. And breathe. Downward facing dog. This is a great pose used in strengthening the arms, as well as the legs, as well as decreasing tension in the low back. If you have any issues with high blood pressure or carpal tunnel, you may want to sit this pose out. Now let's get to it. Coming into downward facing dog, we'll begin in table posture with a flat back, hands directly under the shoulder joints and knees directly under the hips. Relaxed neck. Check your posture and alignment and curl your toes under, pushing the hips up. And here we're going to warm up the backs of the legs by gently walking the dog. We'll be lowering the heels alternately to the mat. And coming to stillness, we'll lower the heels as close to the mat as possible. If they don't reach all the way to the floor, not to worry. Check the posture, positioning of your hands. Fingers should be spread, palms flat. index fingers parallel with one another, and put the pressure or the weight of your body on the outside of the palms and the index fingers. Plank pose. This is a great posture for strengthening the arm muscles as well as the core muscles. By strengthening the core muscles, this helps aid the low back in terms of strength and decreased tension. Any contraindications for the plank pose would include shoulder issues or neck issues. You can keep the neck in a neutral position during this posture, and in terms of shoulder issues, you may have to sit this one up. Now let's get to it. Coming into plank, we'll begin the posture in table pose. Check your positioning so that hands are directly under the shoulders and knees are under the hips. We're going to walk the feet back slightly, coming up onto the balls of the feet, pushing up, tightening the hips and the belly, creating a nice straight line with the back side of the body. Relax the neck and breathe. Mountain pose. This is a great pose for strengthening the core muscles overall, but more specifically the low back. Now, let's get into it. Coming into mountain pose, we're going to bring the bases of the big toes together. Heels will be approximately 2 inches apart. We're going to engage the leg muscles. Imagine, if you will, the muscles wrapping around and upward on the bones. Gently tighten the abdominals and the glutes. Lift the shoulders up and away from the ears. Fingers together. Arm muscles engaged. Fingers are pointed straight down to the earth. Going to press up through the crown of the head and slightly lower the chin so that it's level with the earth. And breathe. Standing forward bend. This pose is great for strengthening core muscles as well as decreasing tension in not only the low back, but the backs of the legs as well. Any contraindications for this pose would include high blood pressure due to the inverted positioning of the head. So you would have to sit this one out. Now let's get started. For standing forward bend, we'll begin in mountain pose. And on an exhalation, we're going to bring the arms up to shoulder height and gently swan dive forward. Go to where it's comfortable. If you need to have a slight bend in the knees, that's totally fine. If you can bring your hands all the way to the mat, great. If not, you can rest them on the calves or the knees. Remember to breathe. And with each exhalation, try to deepen the stretch slightly. And when you go to come up out of the posture, we're going to gently walk the hands up the length of the legs, coming back into stand. I hope you enjoyed these few minutes today with me, learning something new about yoga. If you have any further questions or are interested in taking a class here at renew.com, please contact us. We're open 5 days a week, Tuesday through Saturday. Have a great day.